Hi guys, and in today's video we're gonna build a C245 soldering station. Actually, this soldering station can recognize T12, C245 and other soldering iron tips. So, without further ado, let's begin with this build. Okay guys, so first let's have a look which parts we need to build this soldering station. So, you are gonna need a power supply which is at least capable for 8 amps. Mine, for example, is 24 volts and 9 amps. Then we need the soldering station controller, and this one recognized and can control T12, T245, T210, T115 and another soldering iron. And you can see here is marked T12 JBC, so it's working almost like the JBC soldering stations, which are really expensive. So like that we can build something that works as a JBC with really cheap money. When you buy the controller, it will gonna come automatically with this connector, and you need the AC connector. Definitely this one I buy also from AliExpress. And you need to prepare some wiring in order to connect power to the power supply. As you can see here, I already pre-soldered the wires that power the power supply, power the controller, and switch on off for the AC power supply. And I also cut a piece of this kind of plexiglass sheet in order to protect the display when I'm gonna put in the case. And obviously you're gonna need a case to fit all this together. I can say I already pre-drilled everything, so it will gonna be the knob, the switch on off, and the connector for the soldering iron. And here at the back we're gonna have AC socket and this connector, which we're gonna connect to our soldering handle holder that we're gonna see it along the video how to connect that one. So let's start putting all these parts together in the chassis. So first of all, I'm gonna start putting the things inside the chassis. So this is the power supply, it will gonna sit on these ones. So it's gonna be very easy fitted in, just put it down there and then it's not going anywhere. So this is the back side. So in the back side we're gonna have our rear panel. So in the rear panel we need to fit this, and we have here some M3 screws, bolts and nuts. Actually it's not properly screws, because screws are those ones that are going to stay tight on the wood or on the plastic, but these ones I consider in bolt and nut. And if I can manage to put it there, we're gonna be nice. Okay, so I think I might need my screwdriver, which is down there somewhere. Then let's put the second one. It's probably very easy to build a soldering station like this one is, and the parts are very cheap on AliExpress, and it's really do a good job like a JBC. And if you go to check the price of a JBC, it's really expensive. As a hobby you will never afford to buy a JBC. If you are doing, let's say you have your business doing electronics, yeah, because definitely if you have a good station with all the customers that you have, repairs or something, you might get the money back that you spend on that soldering station. But for a hobbyist like me, where you do DIY for yourself, is more than enough, one like this one. Then here at the back we need to install also this one, because this one is it will gonna be our connector for the soldering stand holder, that as soon you put the soldering iron on the stand we're gonna switch it off to be more efficient, and also to make a better long life to your soldering tip. So let's go to also this one over here, and we're gonna try to do a bit tight. I think it's more than enough, it's not going anywhere. Okay, so this one it will gonna be in here sitting, and then let's do also now the front panel, which is this one. So we're gonna have our switch on off button, which it will gonna sit in there like that. Then we're gonna have our soldering station controller, which we need to peel off this one. And as I say, I designed this one, which it will gonna sitting down there. But before sitting down there, this one needs to go in here, because we need to put the connector in order to be there, because I don't know, they design it in such a way that the connector, and once you solder the controller to the connector, it will gonna be a bit hard to take it apart. So that's why I don't know why they design it like that, and they don't design to come from the back side and put the nut on this connector from the other side. So the nut, it will gonna stay as a sandwich between the front panel and your PCB board, which it's a bit weird, because when you need to, let's see, to undo, to take it off, it's gonna be a nightmare. Okay, so here I think we need to turn this one in order to match the notch. So you can see there is a notch on the top there, and on the PCB is designed also there a notch, so they need to match together when you put the soldering iron controller in. Okay, so it will gonna go like that in, and as I say, needs to make sure that you match also these pins together there, because otherwise it's gonna be a nightmare for you to. Okay, so the pins are in, everything is in. Let's put this washer over there, let's put this nut over there, let's tighten a bit, and then we need to make sure that it's a bit centered over here. So once you see that it's a bit centered down there, the display, you can also try to give a bit of tighten it also to this nut underneath down there. Okay, so now I need to set up my soldering station to solder all those pins and then put them together. So far everything is looking good, so let's solder these pins from the connector. So there is 5 pins here in total to solder together the PCB. Make sure when you solder you don't short them together, because then you might burn the controller when you turn it on, because from here get powers to the soldering tip, and imagine 24 volts with 9 amps that passing through this one. We're gonna be a very quick burn, so that's why make sure that you are not shorting the pins when you're soldering this. And I have just only one left over there, and my little boy also come here to see what I am doing, and if you heard any voice, it's my little boy. Okay, so here we go. Let me have a quick look to make sure there is no short between them. I don't like these two. So they look quite good, so I can also control the continuity to make sure there is no any short. So let's give also a quick test in continuity. And to make sure that we don't have shorts over there. So let's have a quick look. So these two beeping, so they can be short one next to each other. So this one with this one, they are not short, this one with this one not short, and this one with this one not short, and no short. So it's all good to go. So now what I have to do is to look on the listing of this one to see the diagram connection from this wire to which pin of this one goes. So let's have a look quick on that. So here we go. This is the listing of the soldering station controller, and it looks like it's not available right now, the 1.3 inch which I have, but also the 0.96 inch working the same, the display. So the price is this is 11.20 and this one is 12.18. I don't know what can be the difference between this one and this one, honestly, because they should be the same. They should be working the same way. Anyway, what we need to check here is the connection diagram to the soldering iron pins. And here you're gonna see the power supplies that you need depend what kind of tip you want to connect to it. So if you want a T12, you need a power supply which is capable with 24 volts 3 amps. For the C245, which I'm going to use on this video, is need 24 volts and 6 amps. For the C210 is 12 volts 6 amps. So I'm gonna focus on these soldering irons which are working with the 24 volts, because you might need to have two power supplies to switch between 12 volts and 24 if you want to use the C210 as well. So we need to go to the picture where it shows how to this one. So this one is interesting to us. So here we go. Here, if you need to solder a T12, to use a T12, it will gonna show you the connection diagrams between soldering tip to the connector, and then this white line over here, this one is the connector switch. So this one, it will gonna be when you put down the soldering iron on the holder, we're gonna touch together the metal part of the soldering iron and the metal part of the soldering holder. We're gonna switch off automatically the power to your iron tip. So what I'm interested is I'm in the C245. So here I need to understand. So I need to connect that yellow wire from my chassis to the pin number 1 on our PCB board of the soldering station controller. And yeah, here you're gonna see all the connection diagrams for different iron teams that you might want to use. How you can see also here, it shows you, look, so you have the ground. If you want to use also the ground, you connect on that pin, and the white, it will gonna be the S. So you're gonna check on your PCB board, definitely there is a S market over there. This means S is the switch. Okay, so I'm gonna put also the link of this soldering station controller on the description down below, and have a look for the link, and you're gonna have access to this connection diagram. So now let's do all the connections on my soldering station. Okay, so I can see there is marked with S, so we need to solder that yellow wire to the S pin. So let's do also this. So we're gonna put a bit of soldering wire over here, and we go to solder this pin to the S connector. Make sure, Sam, that you don't do any short with other pins, because then you might burn the controller. So looks everything alright. I can do also another check to make sure. So let's put in continuity mode. Something is wrong over here. Okay, so continuity mode. We're touching these two, so make sure this one is not getting short with any of next pins. So yeah, it's perfect. So next step is to do all the connection from the power and put this one together in. So let's do that one. So now I can remove everything what I don't need in this board, because the power cables that come from the AC socket to the switch and back, they use this kind of female spade connectors, so it's gonna be easy and quick mount and then screw down the power. So let me do that. Okay, so now let's connect these power cables over here. So we know that the blue is the null from the mains AC voltage, so we are putting there on the null. It which is okay. And we are connecting this one with the N over here, so this one is N and this one is live. So the N goes here. Then we go to connect our live wire, which is this one, to this side of the power supply over there, and that's okay also there. Then this one, it will gonna go to our switch, and from the switch back to the AC connector. But first let me connect to positive and negative over there. So this is our positive, and the positive is the red wire. So let's connect that once. Make sure that you are using good wires that can handle 6 amps, because the soldering iron, it's drawing 6 amps as per the listing where we saw before. So that's why this one are quite thick wires, so definitely you're gonna be able to handle easy the 6 amps. And then let's try to put also this wire in there. It's quite tight, but it will gonna go definitely. Yes, it's win. And then those two are connected also. So now we need to run the wires from the power to the socket. So we're gonna have this one that goes there, and it will gonna run up to here, and then from the switch back to the power supply, which is this one. Okay, and then we need to just fit these ones in with the wire staying down, and this one here, and make the wire going down from there. So one thing I want to mention here, if you're using a metal chassis, make sure you connect the earth to the chassis, because you don't want to have any surge of power, AC power, coming to the chassis, and when you touch the chassis you might get electrocuted. But as far this is a plastic case, so it's already isolated from any source of power, because the plastic is not electrical conducting. So, but if it's a metal case, make sure you earth the case to the AC power over there. And then let's put all together, and I think it's time to give it a try. But before putting together this one, I want to try it like that, because if there is any problem, it's still open and I can check inside what's going on. Okay, so let me bring the soldering iron and soldering iron holder and run some tests. Okay, so here we go, we are ready to do some tests. So I already plugged the AC power over here, and here I have the T245 or C245. The iron tip looks like that and claims that is more powerful than the T12, which is around 100 watts or 150 watts. I'm not sure right now, right? But anyway, you can also have a look the power of the C245. And this is the T12, and looks like that, the tip. And as I say, this one, as soon as touch this metal part with this metal part, we're gonna switch off the power to the iron tip. And the T12, you know, there is a vibrating sensor switch inside, so as soon you move it, it will gonna turn on, and as soon it stay there for 1 minute, 2 minutes, depend of how is the setup, the controller board, it will gonna switch off the power. So now, first of all, let's turn on without any of these tips connected to it, and looks like the power is working, and it says error because there is no tools inside, like no iron connected to it. So we're gonna switch it off. And for the C245, this soldering iron holder stand come with this kind of wire. So I did a jumper wire that connects me from this kind of connector to a normal simple connector plug over here that I can attach it to my soldering iron station down there. And now let's start with the C245 or T245, because mainly for this one I built this soldering iron to have more power and to make sure that it's working. So let's turn on and see what's happening. So I can see it's recognized that it's a C245, and I can see it's sitting there, and there is no power coming to the iron. As soon you remove it, we're gonna start coming the power, but I need to increase a bit. So if you can see, I increase it to 240, and you put it down, it's stopping, you take it out and should start. But there is a problem with the reading. I need to calibrate it definitely, so we're gonna do on another video a calibration about that one, because as soon you take it out, it should start. Let's just increase a bit more temperature and it's gonna work. So let's see, 300 degrees, right? But I don't know why it's always jumping here to 350. I need to check the menu also, this one, and to see if the temperature is reading correctly how should. But for now, I'm pretty sure that it's working how should. So let me lower this one to 0. So now it's 0. And now if I switch it off and switch it on again, let's see. It's still reading that is high temperature. So this means it's still working on the high temperature, still melting the wire over there. Yeah, it's still hot. So maybe that's why, because it's still hot. So he needs to cool down. So definitely now power doesn't go to it, because power goes only when this bar graph start moving up and down. But looks like it's holding also good the temperature, this one. Anyway, it's working because it's recognized as C245. And now let's switch it off and put the T12 to see how it's doing. So I'm gonna unplug the, and now I am on the T12 connector. This was the T12 connector, so let's go there. Let's insert it, and then let's turn on to see what is telling me now that is inserted. So yeah, now it's telling me the T12 over there, and let's go to increase a bit the temperature, so you can see it start boosting here the power on the iron tip. Let's bring it up to the temperature that can melt the solder wire, so 200 degrees, and let's try to see if it's melting also this one. Yeah, you can see it's melting really nicely. Yeah, so looks like it's working good for both of them. So recognize automatically which iron tip you are plugging in. Yeah, so we're gonna call this one a success. So now I'm gonna put the cover in. I'm gonna close everything to be how should be. And then I'm gonna go a bit through the menu and try to calibrate them, because as I say, I'm not calibrated. It's first time turn it on, so need a bit of calibration. So let me do that. Okay, so let's run some calibrations right now. So if I use this one and I check the iron tip, let's see if it's matching over there. So iron tip is telling me that is 92 degrees, and here is telling me that is 73 degrees. So let's go a bit through the menu of this one. So menu temperature, so let's go to temperature, set temperature, sleep mode, max temperature, set temperature. So if I go here, here you set up how many to increase when you switch with this one. So if I go along, so let's also to do this, the sleep temperature. So if we go on the sleep temperature, let's keep it to 50 degrees over there. So 50 degrees on the sleep mode. Oh, wait a second, because I went to set temperature. What is the set temperature? This is the sleep temperature. So let's go to sleep temperature and set up to 50 degrees, like that is okay. And the set temperature, let's put it back to 10. It was 10 that I remember. Okay, so then we go max temperature, 500 degrees is okay. Boot temperature, so when it's booting up, when it's turning on, let's go to 50 degrees. Okay, and back to then time, let's do times, on times, sleep time. So if I go to sleep time, 3, standby, it's telling me 10, sleep mode, auto, sleep time, 1 minute, standby, 10, sleep mode, auto, so we are back to preset TD. What's that mean? I think you press once in this one and it will gonna go to temperature presetted, so I don't need to check that one. I need to check the calibration. So system, select tip, vibrate, K-tone, protect, stabilizes, light, UV, restore, and so he's not here. The calibration, tip temperature, maybe here. So selection T12. So let's go to C245 because we are using the C245, and up to how many degrees you can go with this one. So it's not over here that I'm looking for. Let's see, direction, voltage, room temperature, direction, voltage, room temperature, something 26 it says there. Okay, but how are we gonna do the calibration? So apparently I need to search on internet how to do the calibration on this one, because here is not telling me, and there is definitely not matching the same temperature that reading this one with how much is show me this one. So let's go out from here, because see, if this one now is reading me 33 degrees, and if I touch this one here, I can see there definitely is difference of 20 degrees between them. So well, I'm gonna have a look more how to calibrate this one. Anyway, it's working how should, so that's why I wanted more this one for the C245, because it's more powerful than T12, and also because as I say, as soon as you take it out and you put it back, it sleep go straight away in standby mode, and we're gonna not put power anymore and on the soldering iron, and it's doing a better life. It will gonna have a long life than the T12, and you know, as soon as you put it there, there is no heat coming out, only when you take it out. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a like, please subscribe and activate the notification bell for my next projects, and yeah, let me know in the comment below what do you think about this soldering station. In terms of price, as you can see, is there £13 for the microcontroller, few penny for the switch, few penny for the AC connector, and another £6 I believe I pay for the power supply. The iron with the tip and the holder, also here together you have £12, and anyway, it's more cheap than a JBC, and it's working almost like a JBC. So now I went in the sleeping mode, so sleeping mode is gonna be in the 0 degrees. So yeah, until the next video guys, have a good day and bye bye.